Okay, so we're going to do a beginner's barbecue today because this is really important. If you've never been shown how to actually get the thing started, what the basic equipment is, what kind of fuel to use, this will be really useful. So let's have a look at what we're going to burn. We're going to burn some briquettes. These are really good Australian heat beads. They're not cheap, but you can switch them off. You can basically close all your vents and reuse what hasn't burnt because they will go out and you can just add them into the mix next time. So they're actually pretty good value. I'm going to get them started with a bit of charcoal because charcoal burns very easily off a couple of bits of newspaper, and I'll demonstrate that in a second. A couple of really good bits of equipment. A kettle barbecue, a covered barbecue, basically like a Weber. These are fairly pricey, but actually they're not cheaply made. This is enamelled on. It's not just painted on, so it'll last a really long time if you take reasonable care of it. And a chimney. Chimney is one of the safest and quickest ways of getting a fire started. So we'll get that.
Weber one, yeah.
This is a Weber one, yeah, but there are tons of different makes you can buy. They don't have to be this expensive. I barbecue most weekends, so Weber stuff seems to last pretty well. It's not.
And that's the easiest way to get the coals.
Yeah, it creates a bit of a draw and gets things going really easily. You can leave it. You don't have to mess with it. Obviously, never leave a fire unattended. Goes without saying. But yeah, it gets it going really quickly, and you can be sure of getting things ready to cook on within about 25 minutes ish. So we'll get it all set up and come back when we're ready to light. So let's get it started. A couple of bits of newspaper. Any old newspaper will do. It doesn't have to be from Waitrose. It can be any kind of paper. But we're not going to get political because this isn't a political channel. And then just a handful or two. I just put a couple of bits of paper in. That's nearly an empty bag.
So what's that? A couple of handfuls of?
Yeah, just a couple of handfuls of charcoal.
Yeah, and you're just lighting it now.
Just light the paper. Light the paper. And this is the best way to get it started because you get smoke for a couple of minutes while that paper's burning, but then that's it.
You don't get much smoke during the barbecue. This is going to be the smokiest part.
This is until you put something on, which is, I mean, burgers will create quite a lot of smoke, but.
Ooh.
And let's open the vents.
So what have you done there?
I've opened the vents just to create a bit more draw. You can see in here, like I said, the Webers are fairly pricey, but you can get replacement parts of them. So I put a new set of vent blades in there. So
that's actually a, yeah, you can see my finger.
So that will allow me to shut this off after I've done cooking. And the coals will, hello Lucas, the coals will go out, which means you can use them again a second or third or fourth or fifth time.
Okay. So what are we waiting for now then?
So that'll, if you can look in there, that'll catch light really quickly. Those coals, just that few bits of coal will catch really quickly. Once the lump wood is he's been fed, honestly, I promise you, Auntie Linda. Once these are lit, they will create enough heat to light these, because these take a little bit more heat.
So you're going to put some of those on in a minute?
Yeah, I'm going to put those on. Once this has started to take, we'll put some of these on. You can use kindling, but charcoal's really quick.
But can you just use charcoal?
You can just use charcoal, yeah. I'm just using these because I've still got a bunch of these left. And you can reuse them time and again once you've finished cooking. Close the vents off, they go out.
So let's come back when those charcoal coals are nice and red.
Okay. All right, it's been on about 10 minutes now. The charcoal is well lit. I put a little bit more in just to make sure it got going. Okay.
That's not long, is it? 10 minutes?
No, it gets, charcoal's really easy to light. It's very quick.
So we've got some heat beads, so we're going to use those up.
Well, I just like to use heat beads because they give a really even cook, a lot of heat.
But you don't have to.
You don't. No. You can just use charcoal if you like, but I'm just going to use some heat beads.
Okay.
Briquettes are easier to shut off, so you can reuse briquettes more readily than I found that you can reuse
Are
charcoal.
the heat beads the briquettes then? Is that what
Yeah,
you're talking about?
yeah. So these are briquettes. There's lots of different types. There's a ton of different briquettes. You can get cheap ones, you can get expensive ones, you can get specific. Weber do them. Lots of different manufacturers of barbecue equipment make their own heat beads. But I've settled on these.
We're going to top that up.
Yep, just going to put a bunch of these on here. And again, we're not doing anything particularly complicated tonight, so I'm going to half fill this.
So we're doing burgers and sausages.
Just burgers and sausages. Just fairly straightforward, just to demonstrate how to get this thing working. So briquettes are in. It'll quieten down for a bit. Those will take another 20 odd minutes to come through, and then we're going to put them out, lay them out on the grill, and get ready to cook. So we'll probably come back when I've got these. No, we'll come back when I'm ready to put these into the grill, onto the fire grate, and then we'll put the grill over the top, the cooking grill over the top, wherever the heck that is.
Okay.
And what have we done with it?
We'll have a game of darts now.
Well, we'll play some darts. Okay, one piece of thing I forgot to mention before was another essential piece of equipment is a decent glove, a decent bit of PPE. It stops you getting burnt. But you can buy, again, lots of different types of thermal gloves. They look like that on the inside, and they look like whatever on the outside, brand-wise. So this is ready now. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to point out a couple of things. So this bit here is basically a piece that'll separate, will be able to keep you banking the coals up on one side, because I'm going to use the grill in two ways here. I'm going to use direct heat to cook and sear meat, and I'm going to move meat over to the other side of the grill to basically cook out of the way of the direct heat. So I'm going to pour this on now.
And this has been on for about 20 minutes, isn't it?
Yes, about 20 minutes. So these are ready to go into the grill. Not quite ready to cook, but by the time we pour these in there, let's put this under here, out of the way.
So our first job is to sear the meat to make it look brown, and then we're going to cook it.
We're going to sear it to make sure it caramelizes and gives it a really nice char grilly sort of texture, which is what you're after. And then we'll move it across on the other side of the grill to cook through. So we'll leave that for a second.
So we're not putting the grill on yet, the actual grill we're going to cook on yet?
No, we're going to go and fetch that and put it back on. That doesn't matter when you put that on, just put it on a few minutes before you're ready to cook, so it gets a nice heat through it. Yeah, then we'll be ready to go. So I'll go and fetch that, plonk that on, and then get the food out and be ready to cook in a few minutes. I have on my love glove, the glove of love. Then we're going to take this off. The coals are nice and hot, and blazing hot now. So we're going to put sausages on.
And how long was it? How long did it take before we?
Probably about 20 minutes, give or take. But as soon as they're all this sort of colour, they're ready to go. I'm going to put the sausage on a little way away from the direct heat.
Why is that?
Because they'll just burn. They'll just burn, they'll crisp up, and they won't be cooked in the middle.
Fair enough.
Which is easy to do. The burgers I'm going to put directly over, and these are just regular shop bought burgers. Nice and easy, nothing complicated. And these, I'm going to put these directly over the heat, directly over the coals, because I want these to sear and give a really nice sort of char grilling effect. So I'm going to put the lid on as well, because burgers will actually give off quite a lot of smoke. So they don't. I don't know. Probably just the amount of the fat content drips a lot of fat onto the stuff. Most burgers are quite lean, so I like to do my own burgers, but these are just regular shop, but just to keep it nice and simple.
You can say it tastes nice too.
No, they're perfectly good. Yeah, we'll put a bit of seasoning. They'll be fine. Absolutely perfect. You can see it's already generating quite a lot of smoke down here. If you have a look down here, so
where?
Quite a lot of smoke coming off here.
Okay, I can't quite see that. But
no, all right. But yeah, burgers will generate quite a bit of heat, and quite a bit of fat will drip off, and they'll go onto the coals and create some smoke. So they don't need very long on here, and then I'll flip them, give them a bit more on the other side. Again, just toast them up, make sure they're nice and caramelised. and then we'll move them away from the heat. So we'll come back later when that's ready to go. Okay, so I've turned these once already.
What, the sausages?
No.
Oh no, the burgers.
The burgers.
After about 4 minutes?
Yeah, 2 or 3, 4 minutes, something like that. You'll just, depends on how much coal you put in. Another really important thing about a kettle barbecue is it'll stop all this nonsense, all the flaming up. So I'm going to give those a little longer on that side. You see they've cooked really nicely so far. But
how are the sausages going?
yeah, they're fine. They'll take quite a lot longer, so I'm just going to start turning them.
After about 8 minutes.
No, 5 or 6 minutes, but you're better off measuring by temperature really with sausages. But these are on for quite a lot longer. I cook these fairly gently because they will split very, very, very easily if you put them too near the fire. So I'm going to put the lid back on, stop this flaming up business, and then give them a couple more minutes like that, and then we'll move them away, put them on the other side of the barbecue, so they can keep cooking through, and then they'll be just right.
Okay.
You making a noise?
No.
Okay. All right. So I'll keep the burgers over here. They've been warming nicely,
So
they're
they're
nice.
just cooking through now?
Yeah, they're just cooking through. And I've just been really careful to cook these gently because, again, you can really easily cook sausages too quickly on the outside, and they'll just be, you know, they won't be. They'll be incinerated, and they won't taste very nice. They'll be dried out, and they might be cooked on the inside. They might be not cooked on the inside, and that's the worst situation.
Look very pretty.
They won't look very pretty. So you want them nice and juicy, as a good banger should be. These are Grasmere sausages, regular Lincolnshires, very tasty. So I'm going to put these on the coals directly, just to give them a nice toasting on the outside for a few minutes, and they will be ready to go. They're almost ready. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the buns, and I'm going to just toast them gently on here. I might chuck some cheese on the burger patties before they're ready to go, and that's about it. Say, really simple, doesn't have to be complicated, but hopefully this is given a bit more detail as to why we do the things that we do with a kettle barbecue.
Okay.
So, all right, all done? Okay, these are ready. So I'll just toss them around on the direct heat to give them a bit of colour and to caramelise them a little bit more. You can see what I mean about sausages will split if you're not careful very, very quickly, so they don't need much on direct at all. That's why I cook them fairly gently. So I'm going to stick these over here away from the heat. I'm going to toast up a couple of buns, and then we're going to go inside and eat because I'm really, really hungry. Is that okay?
Yep.
All right. See you next time.